Um, I've been watching Western films. I've been watching Western films, and you hear them. I've seen clips of conferences. I've seen movies with scripts carefully done so that they can tell us stories that would subdue our minds and soak our minds into accepting what they tell us is coming. And some of these stories, they subtly tell us what they have been doing to keep us where we are. I've seen a lot of videos on social media. You hear of Western people saying Africa must be kept under. Africa must not be allowed to develop. Africa must not manufacture. Africa should only export uh, raw materials, resources. We must not allow Africa. The population of Africa must be reduced. They are growing out of proportion. Their population is growing out of proportion. Africa must be fed. And now they have genetically modified organisms to feed us with. The West think they should feed the whole world. And that's the only way we'll have security, food security. Now, I want to tell you that I suspect and I believe that every food they are bringing from the West is genetically modified. And it's meant to keep you in one sickness or the other. It's meant to keep you in one malfunction or the other. It's meant to keep you susceptible to some diseases that may be coming. And that is destabilization. So what I want to talk about today is one issue they've been mentioning, and they keep saying destabilization. I was watching one of the movies, apart from all these short clips of conferences where they discuss how do you keep Africa in check, and all they want to say is control our population and make sure we don't multiply. Before destabilization, they will destabilize our peace, they will destabilize our economy, they will destabilize our psychographic or psychosocial network. They will destabilize our unity by giving us boundaries, which they have done already. And now a Ghanaian sees an African as a foreigner, a Nigerian or a Togolese as a foreigner, and so he must carry a passport. That's destabilization. Cameroon here, you cannot walk into Cameroon and buy things free and run your market, and a Cameroonian comes in. We are all Africans. They have destabilized us. They have given us boundaries, and you must carry a passport. That's destabilization. ECOWAS came and they made all the blah blah noise that they were going to stabilize the economic of West Africa, having one currency and then having a unified travel document, so that as long as you're West African, you can travel into any West African country freely, and they run business. You can settle there. Nobody's going to harass you. But till today, we still have the colonial masters' passports. You go to Ghana and you don't have um, a Ghanaian passport. The inhuman treatment you will get, you don't deserve. That is destabilization. We don't see ourselves as one. We see ourselves as different because I don't carry a passport that has your stamp as my visa. That is destabilization. That brings to mind Ghana must go. That was destabilization. Our brothers had an issue, but then because this colonial masters government, a child, the colonial masters democracy, which is called Nigeria, would not let Ghanaians find refuge in their brothers' domain, because we have we have a child of the West called Nigeria, and his name, and he runs by democracy, and we carry his passport. So you don't allow Ghanaians to stay here. That's destabilization. Now let's look at another angle of destabilization that I had them. If you watch the film um, Ant-Man, no, not Ant-Man, um, Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever. They discovered that Wakanda has a vibranium, a mineral resource that makes the country so powerful. So, in the story of that film, Wakanda became the most powerful nation with the most powerful resource that the world would need. And they wanted Wakanda to just give it out like that. But Wakanda is protecting it with all its might and everything. And the power of that resource makes them even powerful. So, the white did everything to steal it, but the Wakandans will not let them. And they say that the president, and the statement that caught my attention is one of the chief the intelligence of the United States, the countries that we are trying to invade and steal the uranium, they create a uranium detector and they were following these nations to see how they can detect it and steal it. But another nation that had uranium also discovered them and they were even more powerful. They destroyed everything, took the uranium detector. And so these Americans didn't know what else to do. And the chief, chief, chief of intelligence, they were not, chiefs of intelligence were not discussed, and they said the president has a new measure he wants to take. And they all say, what's going to be that measure? Because if you go with violence to these people, we all see how we lost our soldiers. So what measure is he talking about? And they said destabilization. Now that is the story. Destabilization. The white man is always trying to destabilize Africans, the black race, and all people of color. They want to destabilize everything so that they can continually control. Destabilization is another danger that we have to look at. I was watching one video on the social media and they say if you put red and black ants in one container, they won't attack each other. They will not. But if you now take the container because you have locked them all in and you shake it and you aggravate, you anger all of them. When they get angry, they start killing each other. Now the problem is that one thinks it is this one that caused the problem, and this one is saying it is that one that caused the problem, and they are killing each other. That's what they are doing to us. Who is the one shaking the container? Is the Western world, is the whites. Destabilization. That is it. Now let's look at destabilization from the angle of health. We all know what happened to us during COVID-19. During COVID-19, this is all discussions that we have. You will put them together when you understand the modes that are being used to capture our souls and the souls of our nation, the souls of our collective unity as a people. Our souls are being hijacked with these simple strategies. COVID-19, as far as I'm concerned, is a creation of man. It didn't just come. Pharmaceuticals will sit down there, and because they want to reduce population, they will go and create a virus. They will have the cure. They know what they can do with that virus because they always have a cure, but they will hide it and throw it at people. Now the churches are always saying, well, no matter what it is, the freedom of whatever. Where was the freedom when COVID-19 lockdown came? Churches had to worship from home. Families have to stay inside home. Now that was a test, just a test of seeing if they attempt to destabilize the whole world, what will happen? They used COVID-19 and the COVID-19 coronavirus, and they got it successfully. Everywhere in the world stood still, and they forced everybody to take the vaccine. Even though the vaccine is beginning to kill a lot of people, it killed a lot of people, it's still killing them. But that is destabilization. They destabilize the economy, they destabilize the social life, the religious life, even the military lives were destabilized by just one virus that they created. And so that's why I'm saying if any of these guys from the West, these whites, these United Nations, when they tell you that they care about you, they're trying to make life better for you, my friend, you better choke all on every cup of Zobo juice that you're drinking. You should choke. If you're drinking Zobo, choke. And for those of us who don't know Zobo, it's a special drink, it's a delicacy, an African delicacy that we drink. It's a drink like a juice, like you have Five Alive. Ours is Zobo. Not Five Alive, it's Zobo. And so this discussion is for us to know that, look, everything we see happening, democracy is a destabilization tool. It just happens that we must just make do with it so that we would move forward. And even the moving forward is only based on how they want us to move forward. Because Nigeria is the democracy and the democracy is the Nigeria. It's not us that are the democracy. It's not us. It's not the land that is the democracy. It's the Nigeria. It's the name they give us. Change that name. Otherwise, that destabilization tool called democracy, we saw it in Niger. France saying they will not leave Niger because those who are now leading the country are not democratic. So in essence, he's saying they are not Nigerians. So he's not going to negotiate with them because he must negotiate with democracy. It means he must negotiate with the name that he created. He must negotiate with the name that he created. with a child, democratic child that he created. He's not ready to negotiate with our chiefs. He's not ready to negotiate with our kings. He's not ready to negotiate with our sultans. He's not ready to negotiate with our archbishops. He's only ready to negotiate with a child that he created, called Niger, called Nigeria, called Burkina Faso, called Guinea-Bissau. So you see, you don't mean anything to them. It is what they created in your land that is their uncle. Change your name, change your names, change your ideologies, carve your system of government for yourself. There's nobody that can do anything about it. Thank you very much. God bless.